Welcome back, everybody. So today what we're going to work on is the front windshield of the cj2a project. This thing's in really bad shape. It is completely rusted, and like the whole project, should probably be thrown away. But we're not going to do that. We're going to try to bring it back to life. So let's get to it. We'll rip this apart. This might be a two-part video where today is going to be just tearing it down, and then the next video we'll be building it back up and putting it back together. If you like these videos, if you could please hit the subscribe button. That helps support my video and gives me encouragement to make it. It really makes me feel good to see more and more people watching these videos. But enough of me talking, let's get to it. Let's evaluate what we have here. First off, we can see obviously the glass is broke. We're gonna have to get rid of that. Luckily, these are just flat pieces of glass, and it is a split window, which we want to retain that look because I really like the split window part of it. So we're going to get rid of the glass, and the framework is generally pretty good on the outside, right down to the pivot points that go onto the body. So we'll save those. The bottom rail is a disaster, so we're going to replace that. This panel is in bad shape. We're going to totally replace that also. But I do want to save this embossing, the Willie symbol here. So what I'm going to do when I get rid of this, or before I take this metal off, I'm going to cut this off in a nice square pattern that is big enough that when I attach this to the new piece of metal, it's going to give me plenty of room to use body filler to blend this in. So that's one thing we're going to do. We're going to save that, and we also have to get rid of this framework, or the majority of it, all the way from here around here. This top rail looks good. We'll keep that. This is going to have to be replaced or remade. Why I want to keep this top part, because this window actually hinges out, and I want to retain that. I want to keep that hinge, and it's going to save a lot of work to leave that part in. So that's this side. I'm going to flip this over and we'll take a look on the other side. So getting a perspective of this side, you can notice that this rail or this framework here is really good all the way down. This, like we said earlier, is in really bad shape. We want to keep this right here, this latch. I'm going to cut these off. I'm going to get measurements where they go in relation to the side framework, so I can reattach those in the exact same spot so they can line up with the latches on the body itself, or the tub. So there's one on that side, one on this side. And also I want to keep this latch here that keeps the window from opening. So I want to cut that off now, and also this hinge work, which I loosened these up yesterday, and I want to save these because those are perfectly fine. Those are in really good shape. This rear view mirror, I don't believe it's even stock or even original for this, so I'm gonna take it off, and I'm not gonna throw it away just yet. Because it's kind of cool. It has a switch built into it that actually is used now for the windshield wipers, which I'm on the fence how I might just do manual, ones that windshield wipers that you work by hand, because I'm not really going to drive this in the rain that much at all if I can avoid it, because it will not have a roof. But if I do get stuck in the rain, I want to have something that will work to get rid of the water. But I'd like to show you if I can get this front windshield to open. I'd like to show you how it works. ever do something like this, you definitely want to wear safety glasses and gloves. It's all protective stuff. Before, I want to save this part here, so I'm going to cut this out right about there. I feel like that's going to be a good space to cut it out, and it leaves good enough metal that I can reattach that to the new piece that's going across. Now I'm going to remove this metal so I can expose this pipe and get that out of the way. Remove these latches. And I'm just gonna actually end up just grinding these off. These are way too rusted to try to spin off or unscrew. So I'm gonna cut those off. Then I'm gonna cut this pipe off here. I was gonna go right to this side here, but I think it's gonna make a better connection if I cut it off here. This is still really strong. And I'm gonna try to cut a pipe that goes, from here across over to this side here. And on both sides, they're actually really good. The metal is really good right here. It's the middle that's horrible. It's actually all rusted out. So that's what I'm going to do now, is get rid of that. Back onto this pipe, because this was actually way too far gone. What do you think? Do you think that needs to be changed or what? Yeah, that's in bad shape. But it's gone now, and everything else looks pretty good. What I'm going to do now is just go through and clean it all up. Get it all cleaned up, ready to put back together. going to break this down into a two-part video just so it isn't too long and boring. I got the framework, everything stripped down, all the parts that I needed disconnected. And this week I have to try to figure out how I'm going to make the framework for the window. I definitely would appreciate any input for that, if you could leave it in the comments below. Let me show you what the end result was today. This is disconnected and I freed them up. I got them nice and loose, so they work pretty well. They were all seized up. Those are the latches that hold the window in place. I have this disconnected. I get the embossed lettering. I get that cut out. I get this all basically cleaned up pretty well. It's in really good shape. I'm not too disappointed on. It's a little pitted in some spots, but I'm not worried about that. I got these mechanisms all loosened up. This hinge is loosened up, so that will receive the new framework, and it's ready to go that way. The problem I'm having is trying to figure out how to make this new, or make the new framework. I'm not going to use rubber seals in this. I'm going to make it so I can either silicone it in or use some type of sealer. You know, maybe I'll use rubber. I'll see how available the rubber seals are and how they go in. But if you guys have any ideas other than just buying a new window, I want to try to avoid that. I'd like to make something. I was thinking of making a two-part piece that would be an L piece and then another piece to make up that framework, but I don't think I'm going to do that. But that's going to be it for today, guys, and next week I'll have this all prepped up, ready to put back together. Guys, have a great week.